the Nashville 2 podcast with your host, Edward Fox.
G'day, viewers and listeners. It's Ed Fox back with another great episode of Nashville 2. I'm so excited to have one of my friends on. If we launch into cricket talk, don't worry about it. Dr. Bijoy is of Indian descent. I'm an Aussie. We play each other at cricket all the time. So I say Australian by birth, American by choice. We know the same pastor. Did you ever go to Gateway Community Church, Dr.
Yes.
Dr. John?
The pastor is my friend. I play golf with him.
Right. Yeah.
But I've been
Alan.
there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Alan Clark.
I've been there a few times for special occasions, but
Right.
I don't attend the church.
Okay. He wants me to go biking with him. I'm like, dude, that is too much hard work. Like, I am not going up Natchez Trace. Anyway, folks, my special guest today is Dr. Bijoy, and I think you're going to have an amazing conversation. You're going to have a good time listening to the conversation because this guy, I have to tell you, board certified practicing sleep specialist. You've had some specialties. You're the only doctor I've ever met that's like been an overachiever in like every one of those, Dr. John. So, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it. It's great to see you in this view. Great to know you as a friend. We have cricket in common. We got so many other things in common. That's perfect.
Right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. I tell you what, I've been watching the T20s. Australia's being slaughtered in the T20s. Yeah. Too bad you couldn't do it in the World Cup final. That was disappointing for India. But enough about that. Yeah. So one of the cool things you've got coming up, how long have you been in the Middle Tennessee area?
Since 1995.
Okay. Oh, a long time. Almost a local now. 95. Yes. Everybody else has moved in more recent than that. And so tell me a little bit about you've just written a book. It's probably launched before this podcast aired, like beginning of January or so. We'll probably air this end of January. Tell me a little bit about what led you to writing the book.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I had several specialties, but sleep is one of those areas that's been constantly neglected. But sleep is such a superpower, and people are not sleeping. So I said, I'm going to do this on my own. I came out and started my practice, and then I decided to write a book about it. The title of the book is called Nobody is Sleeping, which is the truth. So in the process, I have formulated my own 7 proven sleep strategies to help people sleep better. This is I call it the new pandemic. Right. The lack of sleep. Once you discover sleep and the power, and you can conquer the world, you can be better at everything. So I just want to share this superpower with everyone. So I discovered it. I struggled with insomnia during my career and starting a business, but I have found a way how to get over it. And so now I have down packed. And so I just want to share this with, to the world. I personally believe the world will heal better by sleeping better.
Well, it does, right? When we don't feel good, we go to sleep and we wake up rested and restored. Right. The trouble is, I think those devices, we've all gotten rid of our alarm clocks and use our phone beside our bed with our alarm clocks. And if we don't silence the notifications, we're picking it up at 2 or 3 in the morning, when people are scheduling cold emails to go out. So I think there's a lot of things you can talk about that, but good luck on getting people to put down their phones. I don't know about that. However, you've written the book, it comes out. What made you decide to move from other specialties into sleep? Did you just see a huge need there?
Yeah, it's a niche field. And, having worked in the ICU, I see the impact of sleep and what sleep deprivation does to you, and also the several disorders like high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, all are a result of poorly treated sleep problems, especially sleep apnea. And also, you can reach more people by coming out and taking your passion to the next level. So I decided, let's go ahead and just try something, on my own. Like the other specialties, you have to be on call all the time. You have to stay in the hospital, and you are tied to that profession. But sleep is so underrated. So in the hospital, we practice something called reactionary medicine. We take care of all the problems. But if there is a way to prevent this, then we have won the battle, right? So that's what I said. Let's do something preventative. So my aim as as you mature in your life, your focus of your life also changes. Now I want to focus on more on prevention than the treatment. So that's why I said the best way to do it is to improve sleep, and that's why I started my own own clinic.
You have a clinic, right? So you see a bunch of patients every year about sleep disorders.
Yes.
So what is the name of that clinic, and how would people find that?
The name of my clinic is Sleep Wellness Clinics of America, sleepwellnessinfo.com. That's my, you can Google my name or the clinic name. I'm easily accessible.
So I would say that a lot of times, because you have Bijoy as your first name and John as your surname or last name, do you get called John a lot and they think Bijoy is your last name?
That's exactly right. Like Ed, John is the last name in all Commonwealth countries.
Right. Elton John,
Olivia Newton-John.
John.
Yes. So here, John is the first name, but everybody addresses me as Dr. John. So.
Okay. Well, that works, because I think they're not quite sure, is it Bijoy John or how's that work? But I love the name. You learn how to sleep, you will have joy, right?
That's right. That's in my name.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. I want to share this joy.
Right, exactly. So you start Sleep Wellness Centers of America. You start that. What year did you start doing that?
2021.
Oh, wow. So kind of recently, unless they're watching this podcast 30 years from now. Then it's not so recent. But if they're watching it in the next year or two, so we're recording this in November of 23, folks. So the information's still going to be good, though. There's still going to be a book out there that you can read. There's still going to be skills that you'll learn how to sleep better. So you start that, and you busted at the seams, because I think you moved buildings, didn't you?
Correct. I just recently moved to in Brentwood. See, I've been in this Middle Tennessee area for 25 plus years. So I have I have my patients already built base. Right. So once they've seen me, they're not going anywhere. So they all followed me. They just Google me, find my name, and then find where they are. Right. So I have an instant, I'm not new to this game. So I have an instant, old recognition from before.
So I was I know you can't give out names, but I was at a function, and Alan said that you were his sleep doctor, and he didn't mind me sharing that, because I said you were going to come on the show. And he said, like, it's been an amazing transition. I think, was he saying that he used some watch, but then had to go for a more complete thing? Anyway, I know HIPAA doesn't allow you to talk about that side of it, but Alan said he had an amazing experience working with you as his doctor. So that's always nice to hear from other people. I said, well, how much did he pay you for that? He's like, oh, he's not paying me a thing. I'm paying him. I'm like, okay, well, that works then. So you've done that. So you've got all of these stories and all of these things. What is the most common problem that you see that's causing people not to sleep?
So, I mean, it's a well-known thing. It's our new best friend. We all have a new best friend, our cell phone, right? We dedicate minimum 3 hours as adults. Children spend 9-10 hours on their phone. So where does that time for your best friend come? It comes from sleep. You can prevent from going to work, or you have to go to school. But what happens, you are so wanting this best friend, which gives us all the information we need. So where does that time come from? It comes from your sleep. So children need at least 8 to 10 hours. They're sleeping like 6 hours, 5 hours, sports, and added to sports and academics. So, and the same thing with adults. Adults are on their phone, so they're tired, they get on their phone. It does so many different things. So the time factor is one, plus the light from the phone goes into the eye and tells the brain it's daytime. So the brain is like, hey, it's still daytime. There's no need to go to sleep. Plus the melatonin that puts us to sleep only happens in darkness. So the light from the phone is so bright, it won't even secrete. So we have all this, not only, I'm not even talking about bullying and all the emotional component and the stress that comes with the phone. I'm talking about just the physical nature of using the phone, the time, the light, So everybody's sleep deprived. So the number one cause today is our new best friend, the usage of cell phone. It's prolific. So
yeah, exactly. And I would also think, isn't there something like you get a positive, what does it release when you get that like on your Facebook post, or people make comments, and so we get get fed by the phone, like having that social score, so to speak.
Correct.
Is it endorphins? Is that what's
yes, dopamine release? Okay. Yes, it's the gratification that you're validated. So what happens? All the social media companies know that, and they don't release all your likes at once. They just release it periodically, so you keep coming back.
Got it. There you go. See,
yes.
So you must have some strategies that you could share with us, because I'm sitting here thinking, like, yeah, I lie down in my bed and I get on my phone for a couple of hours, whether I'm reading a Kindle book, or I do change the light when I'm reading my Kindle app. I turn it to a darker tone, a sepia tone. And you can turn on blue light, I think, or whatever it is but I tend to find that the hour before I go to sleep, I'm on my phone. But sometimes if I'm on TikTok or something, it turns into 2 or 3 hours, right?
Right. That's it. You just go into this rabbit hole you're constantly, scrolling, watching something, but we are all, so this one gives everything what we need, the information, the gratification, the knowledge, and you can be mean to others too. So it gives us the whole human emotions in the palm of your hand, right?
Right. So what's some good tips for minimizing, and it doesn't all have to be about the phone, but what are some good strategies for us to get better sleep?
So of the years that I've formulated my own strategies, the 7 proven sleep strategies.
Okay? I got my pencil. I'm going to take notes.
I think you all need to write it down, right? So my daughter, who's in law school, when she heard about this, said, Dad, you need to have an acronym for this. Okay. So I formed the acronym. It's called Sleep Now.
Okay. Sleep Now.
Okay. So we'll go down one at a time. So this is going to save a lot of people. Actually, sleeping better saves lives. It adds like 10 years to your life. So if you want to look young, feel good, let's do this. Okay. For first, yes, right? So it's a schedule. So that's the most important thing. Everybody needs to have a schedule. Like in everything in life, we have to have a sleep schedule, right? So
okay, we just lost 50% of the viewers right there, Dr. John. No, anyway, sorry, go on. Sleep schedule,
So the best time is between 10 to 6. That should be your time to sleep. So I get asked how many hours. I usually say 7 or 8 hours is good for an adult. Children and smaller children need more, like 10, 14 hours of sleep. So once you form that sleep schedule, that's going to be the number one thing you have to do, right? So you got that.
Right. Yeah, I once heard that like 70% of people on their day off sleep.
Exactly.
That's what they do on their day off to try and catch up, right? Because they're not sleeping. Yeah.
Okay. So on the same point, Ed, listen, if you don't sleep, or if you're deficient of sleep for 1 hour per night, imagine at the end of the week, you are not slept 7 hours. So that one whole night. So children are, if you just rob 1 hour of sleep per night, by the end of the week, you're not slept a night.
Short. Right.
That's right.
Okay. Yep.
All right. So we got the schedule, right? Next is the L in the Sleep Now acronym. L is low light and low noise. Like I mentioned briefly, the melatonin, the natural chemical that puts you to sleep, is only secreted in darkness, right? So we want our room to be dark. And also melatonin is secreted in lower temperature. So I tell people to experiment with temperature between 65 and 68 or 70. So that's the reason why people in the tropics don't sleep much, because the correct. And of course the low noise, you want to have a comfortable room that doesn't disturb you. So we got the S and the L. Okay.
And you're exactly right. We put it down to 68. I sleep better in a cooler temperature. Exactly.
Correct.
Yeah.
So now you know why, because the melatonin, the sleepy hormone, only gets in darkness.
Look at that, folks. We're educating as well. You thought it was all about the dad jokes. No, it's not just about the dad jokes. We get some good education on here as well.
Next is the E, the big thing, electronics, right? So we talked briefly about it, the light from the electronics and the time you spend. So what do I do in my life? I'm done with electronics an hour prior to going to sleep. So, and I actually take my phone and plug it in my bathroom, and it set an alarm for the time I need to wake up. So no dings, no notifications. If I have to wake up, the alarm goes on, and I'm literally walking. I'm done sleeping. So if I need to adjust my alarm, I adjust it. So no snooze, no nothing. So I am done with electronics about an hour prior to go to sleep, and I keep my phone away from my reach. So that's a simple, easy strategy everyone can do.
Simple,
Okay?
easy. That's the one I have the most trouble with. But I'm gonna put a big asterisk there, and I'm gonna say out of reach.
Correct.
Yeah, because when I wake up at 3 a.m. and go to the bathroom, and then I come back, I'm like, oh yeah, might as well check. I shouldn't. I should put it over there.
Yes, out of your reach. So if you have to reach, so another thing, like you mentioned, in the middle of the night, everybody wakes up because our sleep cycles varies, and then you look at the time, and it's like, oh, 3 o'clock. Is it only 3 o'clock? I got only 2 hours sleep. Only I slept, and also there may be a message from somebody or something, and you're tempted, your mind's racing, you can't go back to sleep. So many reasons.
Right.
So if you can keep it away, you don't need to. The time to 10 to 6 is to sleep, to gain your superpower. Sleep is the superpower. Once you do that, you can do everything the next day like a champion. All right.
Yep.
All right. Next E in the Sleep Now acronym is exercise. So when you exercise, you're releasing endorphin, cortisol. Those are stimulatory. That they don't help you to sleep. So I tell people to exercise in the morning, and also exercise releases heat. Heat does not help you to sleep better. So exercise is to exercise at least 4 hours prior to going to sleep. So this is my strategy to calm your body, right? So this is the part of the strategy that I mentioned in my book, of exercising earlier in the day, and not later in the day. All right.
Well, I've got you. Stop there for a second.
Yes.
Let's keep plugging the title of the book. It's
Yes.
a really complicated title. Lay it on us.
It's a very simple title. It's Nobody's Sleeping, right?
Nobody's Sleeping, folks.
Yes.
That's the book you look for on Amazon and all your
Yes.
best booksellers.
Yes.
Nobody's Sleeping by Dr. Bijoy John.
Yeah, I poured 25 years of my experience into it. My life story is there. All the the experiences that I have. It'll change your life. So
Nobody's Sleeping, folks. That's
Yes.
the name of the book. So complicated. Like, how can we forget that? We can't forget it. Okay, so exercise.
Yeah.
So I do. Yeah, since I started practicing cricket, I found a team to play with, right? And so
Yes.
when we're practicing, you're right. I sleep better just
Correct.
for having that bit of exercise. So
Yeah.
I like that
So
one.
there is more research showing us that we always thought sleep is related to the brain, but now we know the body, the muscle groups also secrete chemicals that help you to sleep, but you want to use it earlier, not later, so I'm very excited about this research that's coming up. They started in some animals, but it's going to be in the humans, about how the muscles also secrete. So this is going to revolutionize our understanding of sleep. All right, so now we're going to the P, okay? This is called power off your mind. So this is to calm your mind, right? So what happens, we can't just go from 0 to or 60 to 0. You can't do that. Anything else we can do, but we cannot do that in sleep. We all want sleep to be an on-off switch. We want to do this. It doesn't happen. Sleep is one important function of our body. It works like a dimmer. You have to, I tell people, it's like a fancy dinner. You have to have music, you have to have the salad, the wine, and the main course. You have to start preparing for it. It just, if it happens like that, it's not that quick. This is one thing in our life, we have to do it gently. There's no. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So start preparing, like I said, an hour prior. So you have to power off your mind. So I also trademarked this, called my own strategy, called vivid imagination, right? So vivid imagination is, once you watch a show or something, when you go to bed, use your own imagination to see how the story folds. So you go into the story, right? So this is one strategy that I've I use my own life. So I've taught to many hundreds of my clients who see me. So I tell them this is vivid imagination for sleep. That's my. We talk about vivid imagination, but vivid imagination to go to sleep is my own proprietary trademarked strategy. So
Right.
that's one thing. So that's how you power your mind off. And also one ancient Indian way of going to sleep, yoga nidra, Nidra. Nidra means nothingness. You are nothing. You lay down as like a corpse. It's the simplest yoga you can ever do. With your hands stretched, lay on your back, and just focus, and you will fall in a trance. So those two things will help you to calm your mind, right? So we are going down, calm your body, calm your mind. So we have done to P, the powering off. That's it.
So no counting sheep isn't in there.
No, that is counterintuitive. Remember, when you count, you are increasing your cognitive activity. That's the wrong concept. You don't want counting. You don't want you're working your brain. You don't want to do that. That's actually a wrong concept. I say it in my book. That's not the right way to go, because that is increasing your cognitive activity. You don't want that.
Right.
All right.
One of the best strategies that I ever did, and it falls
Yes.
under your vivid imagination, right?
Yes.
I imagined that I'm just sweeping. Somebody said, just imagine you're sweeping a floor.
Yes.
And the broom just slowly sweeps backwards and forth, and it's sweeping all the crap away from your day, all the things that you're worrying about. I think it falls under the calming your mind.
Yes.
That would really, and for me that worked for a lot of years. I don't have to do it anymore, but I would just, and I didn't have to think about it. Right, the broom just swept it all away, and I was going to not worry about it.
That's it.
So I think that is calming your mind. That would probably fall under that.
Exactly. So now we have done sleep. Now the now part, I've combined NO together. So no to worries. Okay. So NO is no to worries. So in my own life, I dedicate time to worry. That's between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. So I have all my tasks to do. I've had my dinner. Now is all the tasks. Like I need to sign up to this podcast. So Ed gave me all the stuff to do. I'm filling it all there, and things to do, bills to pay, emails to answer. So I dedicate that time. See, when I started my own business, so many things, employees, bills, I'm taking it all to my bed and worrying, and I was affecting my sleep. I said, I got to find this way. So I started doing this between 6 and 8 p.m. That's what I do. If I can't resolve something, I will do it tomorrow. I write it down. Right. That's it. By 8, I'm done. By 9, I'm done on my phone. By 9 to 10, I'm preparing to, the slow process to going to sleep. So we got the no, right? So we got SLEEPNO. The last one, you ready?
Yep.
Is to win by losing. So, right? This is an absolute paradox. That's why the art of sleep is nuanced and complicated. It's simple but complicated, right? In life, we want to win by doing this, that, working out. But to win here, you have to let loose, right? You have to make it easy. By the time people see me, they have, like, I call it the rituals. They have multiple rituals, doing this, background noise, meditation music on the phone, but then they look at the phone, the lavender, the mask, the shade, so many. I call them the rituals or the routines that are negative, right? So you bring it all to the bed, and then you are like doing all these things. You're forcing yourself. It shouldn't be forced. So this is one processing. There's nothing in the world, everything in the world we achieve by working at it. But this one is you have to lose yourself. How cool is that, right? This is human of us, right? So, right. And prayer, meditation, all that work, also in this process of losing yourself. So win by losing. So everybody got it? I'm going to repeat it. Schedule, low light, low noise, electronic, no to electronics, exercise 4 hours prior, powering off, no to worries, and win by losing. How about that? This is my acronym called Sleep Now.
As a business owner, it can be tiring paying cash for everything you need. Well, there's a better way. Introducing Trade Bank of Nashville. Our bartering service lets you exchange goods and services without the need for cash transactions. Trade Bank helps businesses like yours reduce expenses, bring in new business, and keep your cash where you need it most. Find out more and join our barter network today. Start getting what you need without paying cash, because sometimes barter is just smarter. Apply today at nashville.tradebank.com.
That is good. So you should get your graphic artist to do a Facebook, Instagram graphic that we can all share that has those 7 strategies with your contact info. That'd be really cool.
Correct. I'm also forming a Sleep Now course that is also available on my Sleep Fix Academy.
So the Sleep
website.
Fix Academy. So tell me about this Sleep Fix Academy. Let's talk about that for a couple of minutes, because that's very interesting.
The sleep wellness clinics is for my daily. I'm a practicing real doctor. I'm not I see real people every day dealing with these problems. So that's for my clinic. So then to reach more people, I have this new online resource for people. It's called Sleep Fix Academy. So where you'll have my podcast, you'll have my access to my book, I have access to a few things that you can do, like the sleep journal, the sleep assessment, all those and various other resources people can access. And also, if you need further help, you can register for my course, which is it's got 8 modules to it, and then it's a 6 weeks course to help people. And I tell people, to implement all this, it's not easy. You've been in this position because you've done a lot of little bad habits over the years, and you've been suffering for several years. 6 weeks in this whole scheme of things is not that hard. So I promise there's no quick fix. I can give you a pill. That's not my style. I'm trying to do it within yourself, because this is within us.
Right.
I just want everybody to understand. And like you said, it's very nuanced. There's a lot of chemical. It's not as simple, but I'm trying to simplify the whole process.
Right. We didn't get here in a day. We're not going to get out of here in a day.
No.
I grew up, my grandmother would be roaming the house at 2:00 in the morning, not being able to sleep. My mother was the same way. I'm the same way, and so there's elements that we carry over, but also there's a lot of learned behavior that if we use your Sleep Now acronym, that we can modify our behavior so that we start to get better sleep.
Yeah, you said, so what I did in this book, there are several books out there, but I want the book to address all family members. Like I have a topic for children. Of course, women's sleep is so nuanced. I have a chapter for women. Like you talked about your mom, I have a chapter for older adults who don't sleep well. See, they tend to sleep early. That's a syndrome called advanced sleep phase syndrome. We can fix that. So it's not normal. It is nature, but we can shift it by a little bit of light therapy and changing the schedule. You can do that. So I have a topic for athletes. I have a topic for children. I have a chapter for young adults. So I have different chapters so the whole family can see. If the child's not sleeping, the mom's not sleeping. If your mom, the grandparents are not sleeping, nobody's sleeping. So I'm trying to help. My real aim is to start a sleep revolution, right? People need to be aware we can fix this, and I want to feel the joy of sleeping better, and that's my mission, Ed.
Well, it sounds like you're passionate about that.
Yes,
and I love that, which is one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, right?
Yes.
And so, folks, Dr. Bijoy John, and Bijoy is Bijoy. So he's all over the internet. You can find him. It's not difficult. Nobody's sleeping, and then Sleep Fix Academy is his online course. Yeah. Now, did I hear you say that you've done a few episodes of a podcast too? Are you doing a podcast?
Yeah, it's all on Podbean.
Okay.
So I just released it to Spotify and all the other stuff just today. So it takes some time, but it's all my podcasts are on.
And what are you calling that? How would they?
Nobody's sleeping.
Nobody's sleeping. So yes. Okay, look for the podcast. The same name as the book. A very complicated, confusing name. Nobody's sleeping. I'm being sarcastic there, folks. If you couldn't tell. Okay. So, Dr. John, when you're not working,
Yes.
and you're not working on your books or your podcast, and one thing we didn't talk about.
Yes.
How is food related to all of this? Is there a part of that maybe we need to cover?
Great. So I have a chapter on sleep and weight gain, and also I have a chapter on sleep and sex. So sleep affects all. So let's stick to the weight. So if you're awake, you have more time to eat. So
Right.
just by not sleeping well, you tend to pick up what kind of foods? The high glycemic food. You said it, the snacks, either it's be chips or it's going to be soda. So what happens when you take a high glycemic food, and even if you consume 4 hours prior to sleep, it affects the quality of sleep. There is research to it. So you're affecting the quality of sleep. And the lack of sleep also affects the leptin and ghrelin, the two hormones that are controlling, so the leptin, lowers your appetite, and the ghrelin makes you more. So the lack of sleep alters this. And so we tend to be more hungry. And also simple fact that if you eat a lot of food, you're so full, and the physical discomfort. And plus, if you eat a big dinner, what happens is you generate heat. Remember, melatonin is only secreted in the cold. So you are not secreted, because the end product of any digestion
break
process
it down.
Break it down.
Yep.
And also, when you sleep with a full stomach, you are at risk for acid reflux. The acid comes back in your throat and affects you. So many reasons how sleep affects
Yep.
Food affects sleep, and sleep affects food. And then in the end result, you gain weight. And then when you gain weight, you have sleep apnea, and then it causes a myriad of its own problems. So there you asked it. So
I knew it. I knew it had stuff to do it. And I don't think there's many people listening to this podcast that haven't had one of those issues, right? They've either had the acid reflux when they've laid down. As we're recording this, we just got through Thanksgiving. Nobody overeats at Thanksgiving, right, Doc? I mean,
oh yeah, everybody. I was weighing myself. I gained like 2.5 pounds.
Okay, so what is your favorite food at Thanksgiving? Do you have a favorite dish or a favorite?
So I have, a long time ago, I walked into Home Depot about 20 years ago, and I had the fryer. Right. So my favorite thing is to fry a turkey. And once we started it, everybody loves it. So once you eat fried turkey, you don't want any kind of turkey. We've been frying turkey for the last 20 plus years. So we are an expert in it. This is the first time we had 2 fryers. So we fried 2 turkeys. That's my favorite. Fried turkey is my favorite meal.
And you don't fry inside the house, right?
Oh, no. It's outside. Yeah. And also the turkey is well thawed. There's all these videos on catches on fire. We thaw the turkey for at least 4 or 5 days before it. You don't put the frozen turkey.
There you go, folks. So yeah, I'm a big fan of green bean casserole. I like the French fried onions. It's like, and Alan, my pastor and your friend, he's a big green bean casserole guy. So it's like Alice, when she makes it, she buys a can of those French fried onions for the green bean casserole, and then she buys me a can, because I'll come in and start picking off the top before she even gets it down there. So, but she loves pumpkin pie, and I'm not a pumpkin pie fan. We use pumpkin as a vegetable in Australia, and so we mash it with potatoes is how we use our pumpkin. And so it was weird for me when I came over here. I'm like, you eat pumpkin pie? Like, that's gross. Why don't you eat it as a vegetable? And she goes, that's gross. Like, we're not going to eat it as a vegetable. We put sugar in it and, make it into a pie.
We all have our own taste.
Right. We all have it. Yeah. Now, which area of India did you grow up in?
From the southern part.
Mumbai area?
No, down south, Kerala and Chennai.
Oh, Chennai. Okay, great. Yes. So I've been to Gujarat and Ahmedabad, and they do a lot of samosas up there. Yes.
Chaat, samosas.
Yeah. So that's my favorite dish. And then paneer. I fell in love with paneer last time I was over there, which is, guys, cheese. It's like cheese. People say it's like tofu. It's nothing.
No.
It's really, really good. Okay. So when you're not working and you're not eating and you're not frying turkeys, I asked you for some hidden gems, some things you like around Middle Tennessee, and you gave me them. What would you say is one of your favorite things to do or favorite places to go when you're not working?
So, I have also this newfound love for golf.
Okay.
If you, so I've been like an addict for golf for the last couple of years, and now I have my free time to make things very interesting. I even had a hole in one within 6 months of playing. So now I'm an expert in golf.
Right. So where's your favorite place to golf, or
Yeah,
where's it?
so I'm members at the Temple Hills, so that's the only place you can find membership. All the other places I'm on the waiting list for a year and a half
Right.
minimum in the
Yep.
waiting list. So I'm at the Temple Hills golf course, and I love playing. You can hit me up anytime. I'll be ready to for a round of golf. So
Now, and so have you been to Top Golf?
oh yeah, we were there for Thanksgiving too.
Right.
So with our families, we went and played. This was in Louisville. We also played at Nashville
Right.
Top Golf.
Do you
So
like playing where you like have to target a
yes,
particular?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
I'm a duffer when it comes to golf. I can drive a golf cart. I can't
Yes.
drive a golf ball.
Yeah, you
So
can. It takes a lot of time. It's
yeah,
a time
takes
consuming.
a lot of time, but I do
Yes.
enjoy swinging a club.
Yes.
I make fun of them. I say, in cricket, we hit the ball and somebody else goes and gets it. In golf,
Yes.
I hit the ball and then I have to go find it. Most of the time I need scuba diving gear to go get my golf balls. But
Yes. Hey, that also parts into the exercise portion of the sleep, right?
Right.
The walking makes you sleep better.
There you go. Yeah, well, leave the golf cart is what you're saying, and
Exactly.
go for a walk.
Yeah.
So okay, so golfing is a big thing. What you put down here, one of my favorite places to go eat,
Yes.
is really, really good. You want to share that with us?
Yeah, that's my people ask me where do I get the best food. That I go to the place called 615 Chutney in Bellevue, where Nirup, the owner, is like he's so passionate. We connect with people who are so passionate in everything they do. So this guy's cooking is so passionate. He'll come and talk to you. There's karaoke at night. So it's a great restaurant. That's probably my favorite Indian restaurant in town.
And the flavors are amazing.
South Indian. They're
Yes.
South Indian. So
Very. I have the shrimp dish. I can't remember the name of it, but I have to. I like it. I like it a little spicy, like not as
Yes.
mild as a lot of Americans do. I grew up with Indian food and Thai food all around me, so I like it. I can't have it at the top level, but man, and the what is the bread type that you guys use in South India? Is it chapati?
paratha,
Paratha.
and yes.
Okay, so paratha, so that and the shrimp stew or whatever the name is really, really good. But I love 615 Chutney. And then one I'd never heard of, you put here, Italian cars and coffee. That's not the name of a place? That's just things that you like, right?
Yeah, that's the car show that happens every other weekend.
Oh, that's what it's called, is Italian
Yes.
cars and coffee. Okay.
Yes, that's a car show.
Okay.
I like exotic cars, and so we can do $1 million cars that are worth $1 million.
Yeah.
So,
Did you and Kevin Watson ever have good
Yes.
conversation? He's a big car guy, right?
oh yeah, we meet there all the time at
Oh,
those
really?
car shows. Yes,
And where do
That's
they
on-
hold that?
that's at the local Maserati dealership
Oh,
in
okay.
town in Brentwood.
Okay. And how often is that put on?
It depends on the weather. So they have it at least once a month during the fall and spring.
Right.
They don't have it during winter. We had the last one the weekend prior to the last.
Sweet. Awesome. So folks, check those out. And that's at the Maserati dealer in Brentwood.
Yes, Maserati
Okay.
dealership. Yeah,
Okay.
Rolls-Royce Maserati dealership.
Okay. So 615 Chutney's out in Bellevue.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a lot of great golf courses around here. Top Golf is a fun place to take the whole family, whether they're golfers or not. I really enjoy going there. And you pay by the bay. And then once you've been there once, you pay $5 for your membership one time, and then that's good forever, I think. And then you just pay by the bay for up to, how many people can fit in the bay? 6, I think.
Six,
Yeah.
and you can share the next bay, so
Right.
up to 12, multiples of 6.
Yeah. Yeah, we have fun. We took our tennis TNCC cricket club. We went there for a night, and we're hitting golf balls, which was fun. I won once they started drinking.
Yes.
Once they start drinking, they can't hit the ball as well. But it is a lot of fun. Okay, so we've got your sleepfixacademy.com. We've got your Dr. Sleep Fix on Facebook and on LinkedIn. And then we've got the book coming out, Nobody's Sleeping, which should already be out by the time this podcast airs. Folks, you can find Dr. John all over the internet. Bijoy, Bijoy is his first name, Dr. Bijoy John. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Yeah, it was just a pleasure, Ed, knowing you and then being here. You started this. I told you I'll come at the right time, so now is the right time.
There you go.
And my name all over the internet, even on TikTok, is Dr. Sleep Fix. So that's okay. I want to fix the sleep for everyone.
Awesome. And folks, I have to tell you that the 3 or 4 people that I've talked to that have been through his practice and have done the things that he says have all raved about how well they're doing because of the things that he's taught them. So if you're having sleep issues, check out the book, check out the doctor, check out the academy, check out our podcast. Some of my podcasts can put you to sleep. Now, that was the joke we made before we got on, is that, we're going to help them fix their sleep, but by not by putting them to sleep during the podcast. And I think we've done a good job. Follow us, like us, share us, check out Dr. John's podcast, Nobody's Sleeping. And hey, would you come back in 6 months or a year and give us an update on what's going on?
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
It's always good to grow with the people you started with. I'm on the foundation level, and no telling where this is going, but there is such a need. But I always like to grow with the people that I started. That's my style. So
awesome.
Yes, thanks, Ed. Regards to your family and all the other folks
and to yours
that
too.
We know. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Sign now. Thank you.
This is the Nashville 2 podcast with your host, Edward Fox.